Breakfast, where we are talking the business of dairy now on the show. Can I have some cow sound effects, please, Richard Dean? We are joined on the line by Mustafa Koita, founder and CEO of Koita Milk. Mustafa, it's lovely to speak to you. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much, Brandy.
And interested to hear how you are dealing with demand, and we are now in the run-up to Ramadan, and what you've seen. What have you seen since we all stopped moving around so much?
Yeah, I mean, it's at least in the dairy business or the food business, we've seen a huge spike, in demand. And I think it's created, a whole new environment for supply chain and demand plan planning in our business. But, people are stocking up on milk. Consumption rates are going up at the home. And we're also finding that we're getting a lot of new customers as well.
Tell me about those new customers, because I have seen your product in a lot of coffee shops in the past. You make a lot of alternative milks for coffee that baristas like to use, and I was worried that would have dropped off for you.
Yeah, the funny thing is that the HoReCa side of the business, which is hotels and restaurants and catering, has definitely changed. However, the retail business, where, people are going to the supermarkets, has increased so much that it's made up for the demand in the HoReCa space. And I think the second thing that we've seen is that, Koita organic milk is also long life or shelf-stable milk. So as people stock up, we've also seen a lot of new customers come from the area who, people used to buy fresh milk basically because they can't stock up or forward buy fresh milk. So a lot of those consumers are shifting to long life or shelf-stable milk.
Are people ordering from you directly, or are they finding you at Choitrims and Spinneys?
Yeah, it's a combination of both. I mean, people are definitely going to the retail outlets. They get the pass through the movement permit, and they go there and shop or stock up. But we have seen a huge surge in online deliveries, not just through our website, but through some of the other online delivery websites. And some of the retailers have their own version, or it's, Amazon or Gibson's or someone like that.
Well, given the challenges to the supply chain, how easy has it been for you to meet that surge in demand?
Yeah, it's been a bit tough. We definitely can produce as much milk as people need. We can scale the business from that side. The challenge actually has been the sea freight and the logistics. Globally, getting product from Europe to the Middle East or to Singapore, Vietnam, that's where the difficulty's been. Shipping rates have gone up. There have been delays. All those things combined have caused some of the shortages. Actually, not on the manufacturing side.
So how do you deal with that?
Well, the most unfortunate thing is you sometimes just stock out. And so we're actually very, very low on stock right now because demand has surged. We've tried to increase production, but there have been delays, like I said, with our shipments. So, unfortunately, we do have, I think in the first time in 7 years, we've had at least 5 or 6 products stock out. And, so it's a very unique time for us all.
The rise in the cost of shipping that you mentioned there, have you absorbed that? Have you had to pass it on to customers?
Yeah, so we as a company have absorbed the increased costs. But, I just don't know how long that's sustainable. Right now we try and keep the prices the same to all of our customers for as long as we can. But, if it continues, which I don't think it will, by the way, there may be increases in cost. But for now, there haven't been any, and we've absorbed them.
And what happens to your own plans as a company? I mean, you've been very fast-growing, very ambitious. Have you had to put your own expansion plans on ice, or are you still moving forward?
Well, look, all the expansion plans were sort of put on hold because we had to just focus on the basics for a while. And for the last 4 to 5 weeks, one, we've been trying to get our company to start learning how to work from home better. And two, we've just been focusing on getting product from our supply side into the hands of consumers. So to answer your question, yes, it has put some of the expansion plans on hold. However, because there's been such a surge in demand, we have a little bit more to play with in terms of now expanding. So we are looking at expanding the product range and geography, but it's just going to happen a little bit later.
Will this permanently change you as a company, do you think, how you operate?
Yeah, I think it is. Listen, I was talking to my HR manager just the other day, and all of my employees are working from home. We've gotten all of our employees like little home workout kits, and we started using Zoom, and we've adapted to this new lifestyle. And we were just saying that people are finding it very productive. They're actually working more efficiently. They're saving on travel time to and from the office, and we're actually thinking about permanently adding a work from home day in the week, 1 or 2 days, because we really enjoy it right now. So I think that's definitely going to change. And then, how we communicate and go to market is also going to change now. I think the online direct-to-consumer model is going to be a lot more prevalent. And I think that's not just me, that's a lot of companies.
Well, you mentioned workout kits there, Mustafa, and one of the things we are asking people this morning is whether this pandemic, whether staying at home is making them fatter or fitter, if they're going Fitbit or Fridge. What are you doing?
Well, I have to say in the beginning I got a little fatter, but then every day when I woke up in the morning and looked at myself in the mirror or on the scale, I had a little bit of a shock. So we actually bought TRX kits for every single employee, and they're these,
wait, those are not cheap.
Yeah, they are not, but it was well worth it because me and my employees were all, again, probably not eating so healthy and not as active. So
can I jump in, Mustafa? Brandy said the TRX kits aren't expensive. I bought one.
No, I said they're not cheap.
They're not cheap?
No.
270 dirhams.
Yeah, for every single employee?
I've looked on his website. There are 7 people.
Mustafa?
we have about 25 employees in the UAE. So it was an investment, but I think the return is healthier and happier employees.
It's not a Peloton bike.
No. It's not a Peloton bike. But listen, I just did a TRX workout just before getting on the radio right now, and you can work up a pretty serious sweat. They've got nice videos and everything. So, I'm not getting paid by TRX to say this, but I would check it out if you have some time. It might help Tom out with his red nose and stuff.
Oh, don't you start as well. I'm hiding behind the microphone, Mustafa. Don't worry about that.
Mustafa Koita, the founder and CEO of Koita Milk, thank you so much for joining us on the show this morning.
You are listening to Dubai Eye on One. We are asking you this morning, are you getting fitter or fatter during the corona lockdown? We've got an Instagram poll. How's that going, Producer Shriti, the Instagram poll at the moment? It's difficult for me to check when I'm on air.
Well, hopefully we're all getting flatter in terms of the curve, because that's the ultimate aim here, isn't it? I mean, we're asking fitter or fatter with a tongue very much firmly in our cheek next to the Maltesers that we have stored there